Welcome and thank you for joining us here in the Friday Night Locker Room on Space Coast Daily. Terry Spain, Zane Garcia from Al Warnke Field, home of the Titusville Terriers. Tonight is the Battle of the Hudson Trophy between the two teams of Titusville, Astronaut and Titusville. This is a matchup that is always interesting year in and year out. It's kind of been dominated lately by Titusville winning the last three, but if you look over the last 10, Terry, it's actually been Astronaut who has owned this battle over the last 10 matchups. So I feel like this could go either way. You look at the records, you throw the records out the window in a rivalry game like this.
Yeah, anytime you have a rivalry game, it doesn't matter if the team is undefeated or a team haven't won one game. But this game is going to mean a lot because 10 years from now, these folks are going to be adults, right? These young men are going to be adults, and they're going to have bragging rights. They're going to say, hey, you remember in 2025 when we beat you guys, So this is something that's going to be ongoing. So it's exciting to see that. And like you mentioned before, Astronaut does have the lead as relates to Titusville. But this game is definitely going to be a grand one because there's a lot of fans on both sides, and both sides know what's at stake. It's the battle of the Ville, baby, So
oh, yeah.
You definitely want to come out and perform for your family and friends that are out here watching.
Well, we were just here 2-3 weeks ago, saw Titusville in their homecoming game win a 21-20 thriller over MCC, and a thriller that was. It came down to the last seconds of the game. Titusville's Tank Harvey stole the show with 3 touchdowns. He was able to score one in the last minute of the game to give Titusville the tie, and then the extra point gave them the win. And tonight is another monumental game. Whenever you have a homecoming game, you want to win it. Whenever you have senior night, you definitely want to win it. This is the last game of the season. It's the senior night game for all of these players. This is a special one for really Titusville hosting this. Do you think that kind of gives them an edge, would you say, Terry, a little bit of oomph that it's our senior night on our home field? Whether you're our rival or not, we need to come out here and we need to perform well.
Well, I think it can work either way, because the Astronaut, they have seniors as well, and yep. Titusville is not that big, so both teams have probably been playing against each other. These players have been playing each other since a young kid, so
absolutely.
To have that opportunity to beat them on their senior night would definitely be great for Astronaut, but it does give you a bit of an edge sometimes with the home crowd. I don't know how much of a home crowd it is because both schools are really close as it relates to proximity, so It's going to be very interesting to see how it all plays out tonight.
It will be a very interesting one. Thank you once again, everyone, for tuning in to the Friday Night Locker Room on Space Coast Daily. Terry Spain, Zane Garcia from Al Warnke Field, home of the Titusville Terriers. Now, Titusville, really, they've been a story of narrow losses and really just losing in the last moments of the game. They have 5 losses on the season. You could say the O'Galley game was really just a matter of a 1-touchdown game, as O'Galley was able to have an interception return for a touchdown in the last moment of that game. But other than the West Orange game, which that's kind of an anomaly, every single game has come between a touchdown or less. Most recently, their loss to Merritt Island was the one that hurt the most, that being a district game, that being an opportunity for them to kind of secure their spot. Hope O'Galley can beat Merritt Island, and then they sneak in that 2 spot. So really, it's been a matter of narrow losses, and that's kind of really the worst way to lose, if you want to call it that. I'd rather get blown out in a game than lose by 3 points, but you can see each and every week that the Titusville team has improved, and as we saw a couple weeks ago, Terry, they have a mighty fine athlete on their hand, and Tank Harvey.
Yeah, he's definitely. I had a chance to watch this young man play. He's one heck of a player, and they're going to utilize him a lot tonight because they're going to need to, because in order for them to secure the win, he's going to have a good night.
He definitely will. Flipping it to the other side, the other team in Titusville, the Astronaut War Eagles, they've really been able to improve each and every year, and last year winning 6 games and 2023 winning just 2 games under Coach Halleck, they really came into this year with a lot of confidence and said, hey, we can take that next step. We won 6 games last year. We have a lot of guys returning. We have some youth, but we have some senior leaders that can lead us. And really, the past couple weeks, it just has not panned out the way that they would want to, losing to both their district foes and the Villages and Cocoa over the last 2 weeks, which by any stretch, those are not easy games. When you have a district bout against a team that's undefeated in Villages, and then you turn around the next week and you got to play the three-peat state champions in Cocoa, that's not easy by any stretch. So a tough run right now for Astronaut, but I guarantee you Coach Halleck and company is getting those guys prepared, and they're revved up for this one. This is an in-city game.
Yeah.
This is an in-city game. Some rivalry games are a little bit of distance away. This is 5 minutes down the road.
If that. I probably can walk there. I won't, though, but I probably would walk there if I could. But this means a lot. Yep. Even though you talked about before that Astronauts are 0-2 in the district, and Titusville is 1-2 in the district,
Yep.
So both teams are still, we're coming at the tail end of the season, but they can definitely, make a stamp and solidify, and possibly one of these teams may be able to slide into the playoffs as well.
Yeah, hoping for an at-large bid is both sides. Titusville wins it tonight. Both teams finish at 5-5. Astronaut wins it tonight. They finish at 6-4, and Titusville will finish at 4-6. But I think you look at this game, and we had some keys to success for both sides. I think right off the bat, for Astronaut, it's protecting the ball. We did that game at Bayside, between Astronaut and Bayside, and I'll tell you right now, they narrowly came away with that win after turning over the ball, I believe, 4 times.
Yeah.
So that's something that is going to be hemmed in on really the entire offense. Is we got to protect the ball.
Yeah, especially with Titusville, you definitely have to leverage the crowd, the home crowd, because they're here. Yep. They're in abundance, so you have to leverage the crowd. They have to convert on the red zone opportunities, but most importantly, they have to minimize the mistakes, especially on special teams as well.
Yeah, that's another key point that you made there, Terry, is the special teams unit. They don't always get a lot of love, but when it matters most, their part in the game is so important, whether it's the punting game and field position, or it's a field goal late in the game, or an extra point like we saw in the MCC game. It comes down to the little things, and they do matter so much. So this game will be pretty interesting to see what teams show up. We've seen Astronaut play some really good football. We've seen Titusville play some really good football. While their records are hovering both around 500, I think either side is really feeling like we can win this game. And I know for Astronaut, especially having lost the last 3, and if my calculations are right, those 3 combined, Titusville's won it 103-6. It's been total domination by the Terriers over the past 3 seasons over this Astronaut team. And I can tell you right now, Astronaut, those freshmen that were on that team,
remember that.
They remember that, and it leaves a bad taste in your mouth when you get shut out by your rival. So you're going to see both sides really, really ready to play tonight. And it looks like Astronaut is taking the field now. They have their golden, I guess you could call that a tannish gold.
Yeah, it looks nice, though. I like it. It comes like a Georgia Tech-ish.
Yeah, it's like a tannish gold with the white helmets, shiny white helmets at that. And Titusville will be taking the field in just a moment. Once again, thank you all for tuning in to the Friday Night Locker Room on Space Coast Daily. To catch up around the county a little bit, tonight is the big-time barbecue bowl every single year, Rockledge and Cocoa. That's another huge rivalry going on Space Coast Daily. Orville Susong, Zach Clark, tune into that one. And really, this is supposed to be rivalry week. This is the week that you see the Palm Bay Heritage game, you see the O'Galley-Melbourne game, but that's disappeared. It's only Rockledge, Cocoa, and Astronaut and Titusville this week, but we're going to still cherish the rivalries while we have them. But around the county, you look at Merritt Island, they have Vieira tonight. Vieira came off a huge win last week over Melbourne. That matchup was a game for second place in their district. Vieira took the win, so they cemented themselves at number 2 behind Osceola. That gave them their ticket to the playoffs. Melbourne, with their record, is still looking for an at-large bid, but ultimately that Merritt Island game, they got to play a Vieira team that's feisty. They got to play a Vieira team that we saw in the Kickoff Classic just dominate. And now you look at next week, they have their rescheduled game against O'Galley that's on Tuesday. You're talking about 2 games for these young men in a matter of 5 days. And you have to beat a really talented Vieira team and then turn it around in 5 days and then play the number 1 team in the county by my ranks, at least, in O'Galley. And that's not going to be easy.
It's definitely not going to be easy. It's a tall task to have. But in O'Galley, speaking of them, I know we're broadcasting the Astronaut Titusville game, but O'Galley's still looking outstanding, you know.
Yep.
So I'm excited to see what they're going to do as far as within the playoffs, because it was kind of a changing of the guards once they beat Cocoa at Cocoa.
Yep.
So, but these teams here that are on the field, they're still kind of clawing their way into the county as well. But they have a lot of talent, and most importantly, one of the things that I had an opportunity to talk to some of the Astronaut players over the following year, and they kept saying that, hey, we're really good. We have a good team. We're young, but we have a really good team. But that's encouraging, because this team's young. They're getting a lot of valuable minutes. They're getting a lot of valuable time, and they're playing in front of crowds that some of them may have never played up against, you know.
Absolutely.
So this is definitely good for both teams, but I know Astronauts excited about where they're at.
I think they are as well. And you look at both sides, they're probably going to say, hey, while some of the losses that we've taken this season have not been pretty, we still have a chance at not only finishing our season off on a high note, but we can still get an at-large bid in the playoffs. So both sides kind of keeping their eyes on the real prize. We mentioned O'Galley. I like to mention Cocoa. They've turned it around in a big way. We saw during the beginning of the year, it was still a challenge to figure out that offense. They could not put the pieces together clearly, and the defense has been stout. The defense has been the defense. Cocoa's defense is always rowdy. They're always fast, and the past 2 weeks, they've put it together. We saw them just 2 weeks ago pound the Villages Charter.
Yeah.
I mean, rather than the last play of the game, a kickoff return for a touchdown by Cavante Corpin of the Villages, that was a 27-0 rout by the Cocoa Tigers. And then just a week ago, beating this Astronaut team convincingly 35-3. So they've really kind of put it together. And I think Cocoa is one of those teams that they just need a taste of the playoffs. If they get to the playoffs, then you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be exciting to see about what Cocoa was able to do. And we're talking about the game. It's kind of chilly here tonight, Zane. You know, I had to bring my jacket. You know, that's not a typical Florida time, but it's kind of chilly.
It is pretty chilly. We have some cool weather coming through, and you think about Florida, you think about hot weather. So I can imagine these players on the field are like, you know what, we'll take some cool weather. You know, we'll take some fall football weather. So tonight will be a dandy. We have the Titusville band putting on a little pregame show for us right now as we are just a couple minutes from the kickoff. Once again, thank you all for tuning in to the Friday Night Locker Room on Space Coast Daily. Terry Spain, Zane Garcia from Titusville High School, Al Warneke Field, home of the Terriers. And as we say every week, let us know where you're watching from. Let us know who you're rooting for. Give us any score predictions. And ultimately, enjoy the game as we are.
Yeah, shout out some of your players who are out here laying it, you know, on the field. Some of these seniors, even if they're not seniors, just shout them out of here, and we'll shout them out on there as well. So go ahead and put it, whoever you're watching, who you're supporting, where you from, the class, either it's class of 95. I'm a class of 95, but not Titusville, though. I'm from South Carolina. But,
Okay.
shout out your class, whether it's Astronaut or whether it's Titusville. You can do whatever you need to, but we'll definitely make sure that we kind of shout you all out because we definitely appreciate you all for tuning in. This is going to be an exciting game tonight.
Well, I'll tell you right now, there's some players on both sides that are destined to have some big games. For Titusville, we know the main names is Tank Harvey, Bill Billingsley, their quarterback, Bill Jefferson on the defensive side of the ball. He's been a monster off the edge. And then, of course, Kamari Jackson running the football, senior running back. We've seen him do some great things this season so far. On the other side, Astronaut, Devontae Hunter. They're going to see him play both sides. He's primarily going to play defense, but he's kind of that wildcat type of quarterback. They put him in on the 3rd and short, 4th and short packages. He will run the ball and do some big things. King Rainey, number 4, wide receiver. He's going to be able to make some guys miss in the open field. He's got some wiggle, and so does Jaquan Higgins. He's only a freshman. Excuse me. King Rainey is a freshman. Higgins is a junior. But he's going to make some plays as well in the open field. And young man that we saw have a great game against Bayside was Draquan Jones. He ran the ball really, really well with 2 touchdowns. So that's going to be one of the biggest things for this game. Captain's about to take the center field right now. See Titusville in their black uniforms, blue helmets. I like those uniforms as well. So both teams about to take midfield, and we will get the kickoff going in just a moment. It looks like it's going to be all the seniors for the Titusville Terriers going out to midfield. This is Titusville's senior night. This is their last game, as it is for Astronaut. So both sides going to leave it all on the line for the last game of the season, as well as it being a big-time rivalry. Once again, this is for the Hudson Trophy. This is the 54th annual, and really both sides are excited for this one. We have both sides taking center field. Captains first for the home team is going to be number 9, Jamarion Bookhart. Number 2, Zymerius Brown. Big number 66, that is Jeremy Priest. And number 6, that's quarterback Will Billingsley. And now for Astronaut, their captains. So I can get a quick view on them. I have number 61 for the War Eagles. That is Elijah Cardwell. Big number 75. That is Ricky Kelly. Number 2, that is DJ Devontae Hunter. And number 8, that is Nathan Edwards. Both sides are really ready for this one. Astronaut about to run through their cheerleader tunnel, as Titusville will do so as well.
I'll tell you what, though, Zane, everyone's kind of trying to find their jackets right now because it's a little windy and cool here on a Thursday night.
Yep. And here we are as the players take the field. Astronaut getting ready to kick off.
Ladies and gentlemen, unless pre-approved flying drones over BPS campuses,
I believe it'll be
thank you for your cooperation.
Titusville. Yes, excuse me. Titusville will be kicking off. And Astronaut will receive. Titusville will receive the ball in the second half.
Tell you what, this wind is definitely cutting tonight, Zane.
Oh, yeah. Got to grab your coats, grab your hoodies. But ultimately a beautiful night for football. You could not ask for a better night for football. And we have some Thursday night football here on, I guess you could, it's not the Friday night. It's not the Friday night locker room. It's the Thursday night locker room tonight.
Yeah.
Titusville will kick it deep. It is going to be returned. Making the first two guys miss and tackled right up around the 24-yard line.
It's a flag already on the field.
Yeah, that was number 23, Jaden Brown, on the return. I believe that's going to be a face mask, Terry.
Yeah, I believe so as well. So give them an extra, 10, 15 yards?
Yeah, give them an extra 15 yards for the face mask. That's not how Titusville would want to start, giving Astronaut some good field position. But move the ball up 15 yards, so from starting at their 24, they're just going to move it up 5 yards. So
yeah, but this is what I was telling you about with the special teams with Titusville. You know, you're going to have to win. If you're going to win, you got to hit on all phases of the game. And coming out with a face mask already on special teams, that's got to be a tough break.
Absolutely. It's going to be number 11, Jaquan Hagens, in at quarterback. He's going to throw. Nearly intercepted on the first play of the game. Jabari Green had his hands on the ball, but was unable to bring it down.
Yeah, that would have been very, very ugly if you was Astronaut, if he would have got that, because I believe he would have ran it, because he had a lot of players around him that would have blocked for him as well.
He did. He had plenty of room to run, and that's one of those plays right there. You catch it and you turn upfield and you're gone. So second down and 10, lucky break there for Hagens. And he's going to take it up the middle and nowhere to run.
I tell you what, Titusville is hype. You know, I like their uniforms. They're coming out real hype. They want to show out for these fans, and the seniors know that this is the last game. So the defense is coming out really good so far, even after that special team miscue. But they almost had a near interception. They got a tackle for loss. They're looking pretty good right now.
3rd down and 9. Trying to get the play call is DJ Hunter. It is Hagens and Hunter in the backfield. It's going to be a handoff. Hunter's got room to run. He's going to cut up, and he's going to pick up the first down on 3rd and 9. What a gutsy play call.
You know, he runs hard too, Zane. He kind of reminds me of how Greg Jones, that used to play for Florida State.
Okay.
He runs like that. He's a powerful runner. So you asking a cornerback to tackle this young man is like, man, can I get some group effort here tackling this young man? Because he ran hard.
He did. In the shotgun once again. 1st down and 10. It's going to be another handoff. Hunter goes up the middle, fighting for more yards.
He's still fighting.
Wow.
Look, he's still moving the pile.
And the pile pushes that War Eagle front forward, and that's going to be near a 1st down again.
Shout out to the big heavies up front too, Zane, because they kept moving. Most of the time you would see people just automatically stop that play.
Yep.
But he was taught, the running backs always taught to move your legs. He got an extra 5 yards just by moving his legs, but he's also a big young man too, so he's powerful.
Yeah, that was a powerful run right there. So give them a 1st down. It's going to be another 1st down and 10.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Astronaut run this ball a lot because they've had success running the ball. I know they're lined up as if they're going to pass the ball, which they will, but that last pass that they tried to throw was almost an interception.
It was an interception. That was one of the keys to success is protecting the ball. So I think they'll run it a little bit more, and it's going to go right up the middle. It's Jaden Brown.
Like I told you,
and
Zane,
he gets loose.
I told you they're going to continue to run that ball, feed them and fan them. We used to say that for people who were in basketball who were real hot. They kept shooting their threes. We say feed them and fan them.
Yep.
Mean them passing the rock. And for this instance, you got to give them the ball and let them run because both running backs are on fire right now.
And we're going to see a quick timeout by that Titusville defense. And that coach is telling his guys, wake the heck up because they're running it right down our throat right now.
Yeah, and if you're Titusville, you got to be careful because they're having success running the ball, but it's also a good way to have play action, a play action fake. And before you know it, you got 2 or 3 wide receivers that are open, and they're hitting their head on the goalpost.
Well, I'll tell you right now, in this day and age, we all see RPO, run pass option. And when you are able to run the ball well, that opens up a dangerous play, which is the run pass option. That gives you an opportunity to throw a quick slant. It gives you the opportunity to run it or hand it off. Whatever you'd like to do, whatever the best option is that the quarterback sees. And if the defense gets over aggressive because the run is working so well for the Terriers, then it's going to be dangerous for the Terriers defense to try to stop the War Eagles offense as they trek down the field.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be tough. And I'm anxious to see how Astronaut's going to attack this. They've had success, so that, they're probably going to try to continue to run. But as you could tell, Titusville's already stacking those extra men that's in the box there, but watch out for the play action.
And there's another run. It's going to pick up about 3, handoff to DJ Hunter.
These are all positive yards, though, Zane. If you're able to get 3, 4, 15, 20 yards, that's exactly how this game is going to be. And a cool night like this, yeah, you can pass the ball, but it's windy outside. But if you have an opportunity to run this ball and run it with success, I wouldn't be surprised to see Astronaut have over 150 yards on the field tonight.
They are running it successful right now, so set it up 2nd and 7. Astronaut is trekking close to the red zone. It's going to be another handoff right at the middle. Jaden Brown has room, and that's going to be another Astronaut 1st down. My goodness, Brown is hitting that hole hard.
Well, and the thing about it is he don't have to hit it as hard because it's wide open,
it's
too.
Open
Those
for him.
big heavies are up there pushing. Shout out to all the pulling guards, the left tackle, left guard, right guard. They are out there pushing.
I'll tell you right now, they have 2 D1 players on that offensive line for the Astronaut War Eagles. You got a Darian Dotson over on the right side, big number 77. He's got a few D1 offers, and as does Elijah Cardwell. So both of those guys making some room to run. Jaden Brown nearly goes for a 1st down again, but there's going to be a false start. That'll move them back 5 yards.
Yeah, but you know what? Those guys they're ready to attack. They're not waiting on the refs or anything. but they're not going to let that deter them. I guarantee you the way they've had success running the ball, they're going to continue to run.
They are going to continue to run, and why would you stop? If you're having success, you're running it for nearly 10 yards a clip right now. You don't stop until the defense forces you to do otherwise.
Yeah, and like I mentioned before, if you're Titusville, you're going to have to be real careful because the middle is wide open as it can be with the RPO. They have an opportunity to throw the ball in the middle if it's there because they're so busy looking at the run.
Absolutely. Hagen's in the shotgun with Brown. It's going to be another handoff. Brown up the middle. He bounces it right and is going to be tackled. Nice form wrap-up tackle there. That was Zymerius Brown on the tackle. And that's how coaches teach their players to tackle. You wrap up.
Yeah, you have to wrap up. But not only that, it has to be a group effort because they've been gashing you. So make sure that one man, you don't put the onus on one man to tackle him. You get out there. You want to impress a coach? Get 3 or 4 players to tackle one person. That means that you're doing your job, getting off the block, and making a play.
Absolutely. So it's going to be 2nd down and long. And another penalty for the War Eagles. It's going to be another false start for the War Eagles. And that'll move them back another 5 yards.
Yeah, if you're the War Eagles, you don't want to come down here and have 0 points. You know, you're going to have to be able to capitalize either with 3 points or 7 points, but you got to clean up the mistakes, and that mistake starts with these penalties that you've been getting on this beautiful drive.
So make it 2nd and 20 now for the Astronaut offense.
And like I said before, Zane, the middle is wide open if they want it.
It's going to throw. It's going to go deep and had a man in the corner of the end zone intended for King Rainey, but that's going to go incomplete. So that'll be 3rd and 20 now.
I would like to see the quarterback step into that play a little bit because that young man was wide open. He's got to throw the ball a little bit better than that.
Absolutely, I agree. He had Rainey open in the corner of the end zone, and it just takes a little bit of a better throw right there, and that's 6.
Yeah, and if you're down, you're back in the chains right now. So right now you should just be playing for a field goal because I don't know how their kicker looks this year, but you got to come away with some positive points.
Titusville crowd making noise. 3rd and 20. Rainey steps back. He's going to go over the middle, and it is incomplete intended. Hagens goes over the middle, intended for Rainey. And that'll make it 4th and 20 from about the 21-yard line. I think they're going to try a field goal.
Yeah, it's a little windy out here tonight too, Zane. So hopefully this kicker can capitalize on the win. If you're able to somehow get a block or they miss this, that would definitely be a huge win for Titusville tonight.
Absolutely. The kick is set. It's up, and it is good. Beautiful kick there by number 16. That is Connor Lamoth. Good kick there by Mr. Lamoth.
And Connor's a junior. I'll tell you what, that would have been good from 55. And so that's a positive thing if you're definitely the coach. You know you have that weapon because oftentimes kickers they're afterthoughts until you really need them. Astronaut needed them there because if they would have came down with 0 points, that would have been a tough drive for them.
It would have been for sure. So now at the 6:11 mark here in the first quarter, Astronaut 3, Titusville nothing. Titusville will have their first possession on offense coming up in just a moment. Astronaut lining up to kick it off.
But that's still a success for Titusville because it could have been worse than that because Astronaut came out swinging, and I thought they were going to score 7 points, Zane. But good job on Titusville defense for sticking true to who they are and only holding them to 3 points.
Yeah, you see the run game working so well, 2 false start penalties move them back 10 yards, and that's a killer for the offense.
This crowd is rocking tonight, Zane.
They
I love
are.
it.
It's a bouncer. Picked up. And a big-time tackle there.
Yeah.
That was number 20, Tamarian Walker, on the return for Titusville.
I tell you what, Zane, he was flipped left, right, front, back. They picked him up and just threw him all around like he was a rag doll.
Yeah, they preview a little bit of Saturday Night SmackDown, as some people used to watch back in the day. Right there, that was a little preview of it right there.
Yeah, it was. Oh, belly to belly suplex.
So the Titusville offense will take the field. 6:03 left in this first quarter. Billingsley is in the shotgun. Harvey with him. It's going to be a handoff. Kamari Jackson. He goes left side and is able to pick up about 1.5 yards. And now we're going to have a flag for some extracurricular going. I think they're going to call it on both sides. It looked like it was Tank Harvey on offense and number 24, Trenton Floyd, for Astronaut. And I'll tell you right now, Terry, we might be seeing that a couple of times. This is a big-time rivalry game.
Yeah, it definitely is. But if you're Trenton Floyd, you're a senior, you know how much this game means to you. You don't want to get kicked out of the game either. So you got to be able to just kind of compose yourself, make plays to help your team win, not to help your team lose.
So penalty goes on both sides. It is an offsetting penalty. Call it a gain of 1 for Kamari Jackson. They gave him 2. So 2nd and 8 from about the 21-yard line. Shotgun snap. It's going to be a swing pass. Caught outside, and that is a nice gain and a first down. Pass is caught. That's number 14. That is Brian Billingsley. That is the brother of quarterback Will Billingsley. And you'll see that connection quite a bit. They like to do those swing passes brother to brother. They have a pretty good connection there.
Yeah, they have a lot of time, especially in the backyard. You know, say, hey, throw me this way. I know you step to the right, you step to the left. Make sure you throw it to me right. So they got a lot of time to practice.
Wide set. It's going to be a quarterback keeper. Billingsley busts it outside. And that's going to come back for a hold. I can almost guarantee you that. But a 6 or 7 yard gain for Billingsley is going to be brought back by a penalty.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. We talked about penalties. I could see if this was game 1, Zane, and you kind of working out the kinks, but these guys have been playing for 6 games or so. You can't have these penalties.
Yeah, once it gets to the end of the year, the holding, the false starts, those got to be corrected.
Yeah, you definitely do. You definitely have to get those corrected, because if not, it's going to be a tough night.
Make it 1st and 20 because of the holding. Billingsley rolls out. He's going to throw it deep, and he's got a man and slides down. That's going to be a first down. Number 21 for the Titusville Terriers. That's Alex Christian on the reception. And that's what you want to see. When you have a play breakdown like that, you tell your guys, go upfield, go upfield. You throw it down that sideline. Big gain of 20 right there in the first down.
Yeah, he actually had 2 players open. He had a player that was in front of that player that could have been a touchdown if he would have saw him. But I know he wanted to get the high percentage throw, and he did right by throwing it to him. So he knew his arm strength, and he knew how much he can run off the ball, off the play and hit that receiver. So good job on the quarterback.
First down and 10. It's going to be a swing pass out. Tank Harvey makes one man miss. Nearly breaks through another tackle. He's going to pick up another Terriers first down after a gain of 20.
Yeah, it's definitely chippy out there tonight, too. So I wouldn't be surprised to see these guys keep mauling each other all night tonight.
And you get Tank Harvey in the open field, You just let him do what he can do. He's a special athlete, does a little bit of everything. He can juke. He can break tackles. You see him with the stiff arm there, so he does a little bit of everything.
Yeah, he definitely does. They're gonna lean on him a lot tonight, Zane.
They are. Ticking down, we are at 3:47 left in this first quarter. 3-0 Astronaut in the lead. Titusville driving now at the War Eagles 39-yard line. 3 to the top of your screen. Billingsley takes the snap. It's going to be a quick side throw out. Trying to get outside, nowhere to run. That's going to be a loss of 5. And that's one of those plays right there that I think the Astronaut defense saw it coming before it even started.
Yeah, what a defensive play by Astronaut. They were ready for that. You could tell these young men watch game film too. That play was telegraphed from the beginning.
It was.
And you could see how it was because there were 4 players over there already before that player caught the ball. There were 4 players over there ready to tackle him. So good job on Astronaut for not being caught in the backfield. A lot of people catch their eyes in the backfield. They see what's behind them, but they get the ball lobbed over their head. But good job on them for staying true to their defense.
Call it 2nd and 15. Billingsley takes the snap. It's going to be a keeper by Billingsley. He rolls out to the left side and is going to be shoved out of bounds after about a gain of 7. And that's a great read right there because I'll tell you right now, he gives it to the running back. He is smashed for a loss of 2.
Yeah,
my goodness.
That could have been offsides too. I think the defensive player got away with an offsides there because if you looked at it, when the quarterback kept the ball, the defensive end was already there because he jumped off just a little bit, but the referee let him slide this time. But he shouldn't get used to nothing like that because they'll call it the next time.
Call that a gain of 4 right there. It'll make it 3rd and 12. Billingsley takes the snap. He steps up and he is sacked. Big time sack right there, and it was a Darian Dotson who got home. Big number 77 for the War Eagles.
That is a huge young man. I tell you what, he flexed his muscles on that too. And good job, he should flex his muscles because he read that play well and he did not let the quarterback run at all.
So a good stand right there by the War Eagles defense. Make it 4th and 20. The Terriers will have to punt it away. Back deep for the War Eagles is number 4. That's King Rainey. Ball at the 49-yard line. This is a good chance to pin them deep if you can get a good roll and bounce right here. Punt is up, and it's going to be fair caught by Rainey at right about the 14-yard line. So with 2:02 left in this first quarter, the War Eagles will go on offense for their second possession. Good stand there by the defense. Titusville, I think the main target right now is going to be the run game. I can tell you right now that the defense is saying, you know what, they ran it pretty much at will on that first drive. If we have to put all 11 in the box, we're going to do it.
Yeah, the number one thing for safety is don't get beat deep.
Yep.
So you got to be mindful of that if you're Titusville because everyone in the building knows that. Everyone in this stadium knows that Astronaut's going to try to run the ball.
Yep.
Don't be that one person that get thrown over your head.
Higgins hands it off.
They're selling out on the run right now, Zane. They're saying if you're going to beat us, it won't be by the run. So when you're putting 8 and 9 men in the box, the offensive coordinator for Astronaut has to see that and try to throw the ball. But the quarterback's going to have to set his feet because the last 2 throws that I've seen, his feet were not set and he had wide open players.
So call it a gain of 2 there by Draquan Jones. Make it 2nd and 8. Titusville sideline getting loud, trying to make it difficult for the Astronaut offense. Rainey in motion. It's going to be a handoff right up the middle. Jaden Brown able to find about a yard, maybe a yard and a half right there. And it looked like he had another chance to get loose right there. He almost kept his footing, was able to break it for a little bit of a longer gain as well.
Yeah, but I think Titusville's got tired of the run.
Yep.
And they said, okay, we're going to do everything we can to stop you guys. And they're doing a great job. This is the money down right here. 3rd down. Let's see how Astronaut responds with this third down because they were getting first downs the last 2 chunks of plays. So let's see how they operate now.
3rd and 5 for the War Eagles offense. Man in motion, snap. It's going to be a quick screen. Rainey tries to break out of it. It's got nowhere to run, and he is slammed down for a loss. Number 2, Zymerius Brown on the tackle. We've called his name already. He came over and was able to make a big tackle there. That makes it 4th down. It's going to be about 4th down. I believe they're going to give him 4th and 7.
That's what you call a senior tackle, Zane.
Absolutely.
Zamarius is a senior, and he did what he needed to do. He was not letting him get an extra yard at all. Good job on the good job is fundamental tackling. You love to see that, and especially at the next level. They love to see how the fundamentals these high school players have and getting ready to play in the next level.
So that brings us to the end of quarter number 1. We will head to quarter number 2 in just a moment. It is Astronaut 3, Titusville nothing. Once again, thank you all for tuning in to the Friday Night Locker Room on Space Coast Daily.
Space Coast Daily is Brevard's most trusted news. Through spacecoastdaily.com and Space Coast Daily's social media reach, hundreds of thousands of people stay informed every day. Through Space Coast Daily's unmatched digital reach, with the Space Coast Daily's direct mail newspaper and Space Coast Daily, the magazine in print, our loyal and engaged viewers enjoy free local news they can trust every day, and all at no charge thanks to our successful advertising clients, and also at our special events at Space Coast Daily Park in Vieira, where hundreds of thousands of people see our clients' advertisements. Call today to get your message seen on Space Coast Daily and take your business to new heights. Get launched with Space.
And play resumes here to start the second quarter. Punt nearly blocked. It's going to take an astronaut type bounce. That's going to be a flag for a block in the back. So move them back maybe 5-10 yards, whatever they call. How severe that was. It looked pretty severe.
Yeah, it definitely did. But and the player didn't even have to do that.
He did.
You know, and so these special teams plays that we talk about, like how you got to be smart on special teams, because that definitely helps out your offense or your defense. And so now they're going to get extra yards because of a silly mistake.
Yeah, it was. That block in the back was really unnecessary. Runner was not going to pick up the ball at all. Looked like a kind of just an aggression, frustration type of push. So that will move Titusville back a few, and they'll start their second drive of this game.
I'm really surprised at how cool it is tonight, you know.
It is. I just had to throw my hoodie on. I was like, you know, that wind's coming in here. It's getting a little chilly.
Some earmuffs and a scarf, too?
Getting a little chilly. So second drive of the game for the Titusville offense. It is Kamari Jackson in the backfield with Bill Billingsley. Shotgun pistol formation for the Terriers. Once again, thank you all for tuning in to the Friday Night Locker Room on Space Coast Daily. Terry Spain, Zane Garcia here from Al Wernicke Field, home of the Titusville Terriers. Snap, and it looks like it was a miscommunication of what was supposed to happen right there. Bill Billingsley put the ball out to the right, and it was Kamari Jackson that ran to the left side of him.
Yeah, I tell you what, that's very dangerous, because now you got your quarterback in no man's land, and you letting these defenders just feed off of them and feasting them, and they've been hitting them hard. So you got to be careful of that, because you're going to need this quarterback down the stretch. So you don't want to put him in harm's way. But that was a hard hit, because he got hit by multiple players on that last possession.
He did indeed. So Make it 2nd and 11 after the loss of 1. Snap and a quick throw outside. Able to get about 5 yards on the gain.
Gain of 5 in the play. 3rd down and 5.
Throw outside was to Alex Christian.
I like to see them throw the ball down the field a little bit more. You know, he had some success earlier with throwing the ball down the field. Why not just go in and attack these cornerbacks and these safety? They're a young team for the most part. Go ahead and attack them and see what they're made of. A double move would be wonderful right here.
3 wide receivers at the bottom of the screen. 3rd and 6. It's going to be a throw over the middle, and it is caught. That's number 14, Brian Billingsley, his brother, on the reception.
Just like I said, Zane, if they throw the ball down the field a little bit, yeah, they'll get some good positive yards. And look what's happening. So I won't be surprised to see them. They're trying to get in a rhythm right now, which is good. You need, in a cold game like this, you need to get in a rhythm early so you can get your offense off and your defense can go there and start pounding.
Well, I'll tell you right there, I like the play call. You have the defense all shifting to the left. You bring the receiver kind of back right. You let him settle right near the first down line, and he's able to pick up the first down and a couple more.
It looks like the defense is still offsides if you look at it. I'm surprised that the referee haven't called that.
And Billingsley sacked right there. It looked like the offense was trying to throw a tunnel screen underneath, and that's one of those plays. I'll tell you right now, Terry does not like those plays, those long developing plays.
Oh.
They do not work very well, and right there you see it as he was sacked.
Yeah, and obviously it didn't work on this play either. You know, those long developing plays, I despise those things. You know, I know it gets cute sometimes, but if you're in a rhythm, don't do a long developing play. Keep going. Keep the defense on their heels. Right now, the defense is having a field day.
So about a loss of 6 right there, 2nd and 16.
Offsides. Defense is offsides again. Now I think the referees must have heard me up here, Zane, because he's getting that extra. The get off is good, but he's have to wait maybe an extra second, and he'll be fine.
I agree. It looks like his stance is just right over the line of scrimmage.
Right.
And it doesn't matter if you have a centimeter over the line. They're going to call that every single time.
Most
so
definitely.
give them 5 yards up, and that'll make it 2nd and 11 for the Terriers offense. They'll take the free 5 yards back. 8:30 left in this second quarter. Terriers trying to nod this game up or take the lead on this drive. Billingsley steps back. He's going to throw it outside. And it's intended for his brother Billingsley. That was number 10, Montrell Gordon, on the coverage. And I'll tell you right now, I don't know how often they call this in high school football, but in college football, they probably would have called that offensive pass interference, because Gordon looked like he had an opportunity to intercept that ball.
Yeah, it was like, I thought Billingsley had another brother out there that he was throwing to, and that would have been Gordon, because Gordon could have took that one to the house if he didn't get pushed in the back.
So 3rd and long, Astronaut sideline trying to get loud, and I'll tell you right now, that sideline's full. It's not as big as the Titusville home field sideline, but they have some people over there. They're getting loud.
Oh, it's a full house out there.
Billingsley takes the snap. He's able to escape it.
Oh.
And he gets literally pounded from, looked like that was number 54.
4th down and 2.
That's Corey Alexander, who is there on the tackle. That's going to make it 4th and short. I think they're going to keep the offense on the field.
Yeah, I had a chance to talk to Corey Alexander this summer, too, and he was one of the guys that was telling me about Astronaut and how good they're going to be this year. Well, he just showed me how hard he can hit, so he definitely hit Billingsley pretty hard.
He did. That was a big hit to take right there. Good escapability by Billingsley, able to make nothing into something. bunch package. It's Tank Harvey. He's going to run forward, and he's just going to plow his way for a first down. I'll tell you right now, when Harvey goes down, straight down, there's nobody stopping him. He's a little bit of a taller guy, probably around 6 foot, but he runs with a low center of gravity.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, if you want the job done, you put a tank in there. And that's exactly what a tank goes and clears house. Anytime you need to go into battle, you go into war, and you want to make some intimidation factors, you send a tank in there, and that'll get everybody moving. And that's what happened. That tank came in there and cleared house. 4th
and short, you have Tank Harvey. It's going to be analytics 100% say go for it. So they get the first down into Astronaut territory at the 38-yard line. Billingsley takes a step. He's going to step back. He's going to go deep. And that ball is thrown out of bounds. But I like that. I like the opportunity to challenge these defensive backs. Now you got to give a little bit of a better throw, but you want to have confidence in your receivers to say, my guy's better than your guy. Let's give him a shot down the sideline. And you have some playmakers. They have Zymerius Brown, who he might play a little bit of both sides. They got number 3, Dion Bland, who is the intended receiver right there. He can make plays. Of course, we know Harvey can make plays. Christian can make plays. Give your guys some opportunity.
Yeah, you got to give him opportunities, but his success has been going when the players are not out, they're in. So if he can throw it in like a skinny post, that's where he's getting his success. You see what I mean? Those plays like that is what he's been successful at doing. And he had actually 2 players open again. So this is the rhythm play that you have to have. I've been watching him throw the ball this entire night, and he has had success throwing it like that versus trying to throw and make a play on the sideline.
So the receiver right there was number 16, Jason Dunlap, on the out route for a first down. Good pass and catch there from Billingsley to Dunlap. Will give a first down to the Terriers and move them into the Mike Erdman red zone right about the 18-yard line.
Dunlap caught that pass and he was gone. You know, it's almost like he took the ball. He didn't even have the entire ball with him, but he caught it and was still running. So it's good to see that he wanted to get more extra yards for his team.
Make it 6:23 left in this second quarter. I think they just called an official's timeout for water. And I'll tell you right now, the dehydration, it comes up to you a little bit different when it's cold. When it's hot, you feel it faster. When it's cold, it feels like you have an icy chest.
I'll take hot cocoa on the sideline for the dehydration.
So 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line. Terriers moving the ball down the field, trying to answer the score that Astronaut had on their first possession. Bunch formation. And it's fumbled under center. Billingsley just able to fall on it. And, you know, that's one of those things that when you're used to going out of shotgun and you maybe have only practiced being under center a couple of times, that transaction between the center to the quarterback is sometimes not perfected. And right there, that was a dangerous play.
Yeah, and you can see they ran immediately back to the shotgun after that because they knew, well, they stay went under the center, but they're going to retry it. If you don't succeed, try again.
Kamari Jackson is in for a touchdown as he takes the handoff, make one move, and he is in. 18-yard touchdown, Kamari Jackson.
Well, that cutback that Jackson had is the reason why he has 6 points on the board right now. Good job with him and the vision that he was able to see that if he bounced it outside, then that defender was not going to be able to touch him, and that's what happened. So great job on that. And that got the crowd erupt here tonight, you know, and that's what they were waiting on. You know, it's senior night. It's one of the last home games, I'm not mistaken, and so they wanted to see some scores. They wanted to see some points, and that's exactly what's been happening.
Kamari Jackson with the 18-yard run and touchdown right there for the Terriers.
Pause and tell me to move over.
Extra point is no good. 5-yard penalty moved the Terriers back, and the extra point is no good. It was just under the uprights, so make it 6-3. And we know about missing extra points and about 1 point this, 1 point that. It's only a 3-point game. That is huge.
That may come back to haunt you too, Zane. You know, we talked about special teams, right? And points matter.
They do.
And so that may come back to haunt you because of that missed field goal.
Yeah, that is a
extra point.
Big time 5 yards that moved the Terriers back on that extra point. So make it 6-3. Titusville leading in the second quarter. 5:37 left in the half. And the Terriers will kick it off. The Terriers did kick off first, so they will receive to start the second half. But I got to believe if you're Astronaut, you're saying, hey, they just missed that extra point. We're down by only a field goal now. We just made a field goal. Our kicker's feeling good.
Yeah. We can go ahead and tie this game up and go in halftime, but I know they're looking to score a touchdown.
Absolutely.
And they've had success running the ball initially, but those are those scripted plays that usually happen in the beginning. Let's see what they do when we don't have those scripted plays anymore.
Kickoff return bounces outside, and wow, a big hit right there. That's number 4, Jabari Green on the tackle. Huge hit as he drives King Rainey to the ground. So the drive will start at right about the 29-yard line. So not terrible field position for this War Eagles offense to take over, but move it back after a block in the back by the War Eagles. So they're going to move that spot back 10 yards. So from the 19 now, Astronaut will start their third drive of the game. Once again, thank you all for tuning in to the Friday Night Locker Room on Space Coast Daily. Terry Spain, Zane Garcia here from Al Wernicke Field. Astronaut and Titusville, the battle of the Hudson Trophy. This is the Titusville rivalry. Who is the champion of the Ville? We will see tonight.
Yeah, and don't forget to shout out what high school you went to. If you went to Titusville or high school, shout out the year you graduated or went to Titusville.
Higgins goes deep, and it is picked off. What an interception. That was number 5, Dwight Jenkins on the interception. That was a heck of a grab right there.
Yeah, I think he should be lobbying to play wide receiver now because he jumped up and caught that pass like he's the only one that was on the field that day. And to be honest with you, what an effort. That's what you want to see. It's Thursday night. You got all your players, you got all your fans out here. Give them something to cheer for, and that interception gave them something to cheer for.
What a big-time play there by Dwight Jenkins, intercepting that ball over the middle. Higgins threw that kind of into some coverage. He had a guy streaking down the field, but that's one of those, when you hit them up the stream, you got to hit them up that seam early. You cannot wait, or the safety's going to come over, and that's exactly what happened there. Dwight Jenkins was able to pick that off. So the offense of Titusville takes over. Billingsley rolls out, throws over the middle, and it is caught. Wow, that's an all-hands grab right there. That was number 20, Tamarion Walker, on the catch. Excuse me, it was Alex Christian. Well, what a grab right there.
Yeah, he caught it with every bone, every fiber of his body, his knee, his ankle. He caught it with everything. But good grab because it could have been worse than that.
Absolutely. make it 2nd and 3. Billingsley takes the snap, throw outside, and a big time tackle by number 24. That's Trenton Floyd, who we've seen him matched up with Harvey a couple of times, and he makes a big time tackle right there. Huge play to set up a 3rd medium. Defense trying to get out the field, offense trying to put another score on the board.
That was a punishing hit, Zane, and that's a senior tackle. You know, he's a senior, so he's definitely showing these underclassmen how to tackle and wrap up properly, and he did a great job with doing that.
It's going to be a timeout, Astronaut. I think that's a good idea. Bunch formation, you see the diamond formation by the Titusville offense. It's alluding to a run, but I could tell you right now, Coach Diesel probably has some play-action pass under his playbook that he was thinking to call right there. So good timeout by Coach Halleck in that defensive unit for the War Eagles.
Yeah, that's a good call because now he's telling his team, like, hey, we still have an opportunity to score. Defense hold up here, we get the ball, and we go back down here and score. Even though we had a turnover the last possession, we're still not out of this game. It's 6-3. So I know the coach is over there telling his young men, bend but don't break. Get a turnover if you can, and that's what they're looking to try to do.
3:56 left in this first half. Titusville leading 6-3. Both sides, I think, are still really trying to find some consistency on offense. You can see some big plays have mounted for Titusville as they currently hold the 3-point lead. But altogether, I think both teams still trying to look for that one big play. Diamond formation. It's going to be Billingsley under center. 3rd and 5.
I saw this formation from the Naval Academy, Zane.
And it's going to be a handoff. And it's going to be a first down. It was Kamari Jackson who took the handoff, and he picks up 6, and he picks up a first down.
Yeah, and that's what you're looking to move the chains, and you don't have to be in a rush here. You know, you're playing with house money right now. You could definitely just go down there and try to score, but leave as less of time as you can to give the defense to come back on here and have Astronaut try to score and give them more time. So they're doing a great job of not rushing and staying posed, and they're staying in this same formation as well.
It's another handoff. Jackson makes a cut, breaks it outside. He's got room to run. He's going to pick up about 20 and some more for the penalty. That's going to be a penalty right there for a late hit.
Holding. Defense. Results in a PHS. First down.
So make it first down and 10 from the 11. In that same diamond formation. Handoff. Jackson was stood up at the line, and he will be tackled for probably a gain of 2.
Gain of 3 on the run. 2nd down and 7.
It was a great job on Astronaut and that group tackling I talked about before. That effort is what you need, because Titusville is trying to score again, but you also want to see Astronaut and the defense get out here and try not to let them score.
Yep.
A field goal, you obviously missed one before, but a field goal is not a sure thing. It's not a layup. So if you could try to hold them to that, that would definitely be a good thing if you're Astronaut.
With the way the Terriers defense is playing too, there's We're now under 2.5 minutes. They might want to try to score quick and get the ball back if they can get a quick stop. It's going to be another handoff. Jackson to the right.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Astronauts call a timeout here as well.
Jackson on the carry.
So they've now run the same play 4 times in a row. I think now if they put that same formation together, you might see a play action out of it. At this point, the defense knows it's either going left or it's going right.
Yeah, you still got 1 minute and 54 seconds left to halftime. You got to stay true to who you are if you're Astronaut in this defense, because you've held them to pretty much 3 yards after this last possession. So let's see what happens here.
Running down the sideline was Logan Halleck. He takes a quick timeout.
Yeah, he did not like what he saw there, because with that formation, you could do many different plays with that. You could even fake toss it. The quarterback can keep the ball and bootleg it, or you could throw it to your tight end or wide receiver. So he wants his team to be ready for anything down here.
I can tell you right now, Coach Halleck ran probably about a 4.5 40 down that sideline to get over to the referee and call that timeout. And he got there in just enough time as the play was halted before it could begin. And we have a timeout with 1:35 left in the first half.
Yeah, and hopefully that timeout saves them on the defense too, because he was sprinting pretty fast, because he saw something he did not like. And good job on him for addressing that from the beginning, because he's going to tell his team, watch the ball. Be mindful of the fakes here, because anything can happen here, like I mentioned before.
Bunch formation. It's Harvey in the Wildcat. He goes left, makes a cut. And a group tackle. Good effort there by the War Eagles defense to not let Harvey get loose.
Harvey on the carry. Gain of 1.
Time is ticking.
Yeah, and like I said, if you're Titusville, you're going to take your time. You don't want to give as many time left. But good job with, like I tell you, I was surprised that they waited this long to call a timeout, because you still have to. You're in the game. You're down 6-3, and you can have a potential of being down 9-3. But you have to give your offense back the ball with some ample enough time to get down there and march down the field and see what happens.
So that timeout right there stops the clock at 1:11 left in this first half. 6-3, ball at the 5-yard line. It's 4th down. I wouldn't be surprised to see Titusville go for it. And the reason I say this is because you don't get it. You're putting Astronaut at the 5-yard line with a whole field to drive, and we know that their passing game has not been that consistent enough to get you down the field quick. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them go for it, and it looks like they are going to do so.
What does analytics say? You like the analytics. So
the analytics says you have Bill Billingsley and Tank Harvey, so you're going to go for it, and that is what they're going to do. 4th and 5. Snap to Billingsley. It's going to be a shovel pass up the middle, and he's going to score. What a great play design to set up Alex Christian. A slip underneath, a little shovel pass by the quarterback, and he's walking into the end zone.
And like I said before, Zane, you could do many things with that formation, but you gotta be looking at the ball. And they got kind of lax to sleep a little bit too. You know, they was expecting a heavy run, and good job by Titusville. Now you're cooking a little bit. You're down 12. You're up 12-3. Hopefully, after you make this extra point, you'll be 13-3. You'll be up by 10 points.
Extra point is up and good. Make it 13-3 with just over a minute left, 1:04 left in this first half. And Titusville now holds the 10-point lead. Before we go to halftime, I always like to thank our sponsors. And we will take a brief break as we thank our sponsors, and we will be right back. So Titusville set to kick off. And it's going to be King Rainey. He spins and is tackled right before the 30-yard line. 57 seconds left in this first half. And I'll tell you right now, with 57 seconds left, that's enough time to do A, B, and C. It's enough time to go get points. It's enough time to turn the ball over, and it's enough time to run out the clock.
So you're saying anything can happen?
Anything can happen with 57 seconds left on the clock. But if I'm Astronaut, I'm playing it safe. You know, 13-3, you don't want to be down 10. I get that. But you just saw that the passing game gave the Titusville Terriers an interception and gave them great field position. You do not want to give the ball back to Billingsley, Harvey, Alex Christian, Dion Bland. Those guys are rocking and rolling right now.
Yeah, I don't know how safe you would play it, though. You're down by 10 points, and you need points. So you called those timeouts earlier to give you this time to do some plays, and I don't think they're going to call it safe.
Looks like the wide receiver slipped right there. It wasn't a bad throw, actually, by Higgins. Throwing to the outside. Pass was intended for Hunter Buck, his tight end. So they'll go to second down and 10, 53 seconds left in this first half. I mean, with the kicker's leg, I think that you're at the 27-yard line. I mean, you still got to get about 45, 50 yards to get in field goal range. That throw outside is incomplete for Rainey.
Yeah, that's a kind of disappointing throw too there, Zane, because the receiver was open. You gotta give him the ball so that he can make plays. That, like I told you before, he never steps into his throw. He's gonna have to step into it to help his receivers out. Help me help you. You know,
Yeah.
That's what he's saying, because that could have turned into some really positive yards if he would have caught that pass.
It could have. But now you look at it, 3rd and 10 with 50 seconds left. What do they do here?
Well, the middle is open.
It's going to be a throw outside. Pass is caught. Rainey makes a guy miss and is able to pick up a first down. Clock will stop momentarily to reset the chains. I don't think they have a timeout, so they got to go hurry up.
And this is what I was telling you about the first time, when you give your receivers an opportunity to get the ball and make something happen. You still could make something happen. You got 39 seconds left. Anything can happen. The receiver down on the bottom is throwing his hands up because he's one-on coverage, and that's what he wants.
Higgins steps up, and he's going to be sacked.
Yeah, you definitely don't want that because you don't have no timeouts left.
No, they don't. That was the time that you really want to be throwing the ball out of bounds, or you want to throw it to the sideline. They do take the timeout. Astronaut does. So 23 seconds left. That'll make it second and long, as it looked like Higgins was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, but not more than that. So second and long, 23 seconds left. Terry, draw it up. What play are you calling right here?
Well, you got an opportunity to do a couple plays. You don't necessarily have to go to the sideline, which would be ideal for you to step out of bounds once you get it. But as the last play that I saw, that Titusville had the middle wide open. If you're able to attack that middle, you could try to score. But if you can't score, you get tackled, spike the ball, and see what happens from there. Because you have 23 seconds left. That's a lot of time. And I know the ideal play is to hit the sidelines, but don't forget about the middle as well.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, especially if you get King Rainey over the middle. We just saw his burner speed. He can make something happen. Higgins steps up to throw, and it is intercepted.
Yeah, you definitely don't want that. But that was a good heads-up play by the defense. But his arm was hit too, so the pass rush was definitely coming, and he had to throw it. But one of the defenders hit his arm too.
Yeah, it was Jabari Green on the interception. And, yeah, the pass rushers were after him, and his arm definitely got hit as he threw the ball. There's no replay in high school football, so the pass is going to be called an interception from up here in the booth. To me, it looked like it hit the ground, but you got to go with the refs are right. There's no replay, so the refs are right regardless. So with 16 seconds, the Terriers have a chance. Honestly, they only need 15 yards, and they're in field goal range.
Yeah, they're cooking right now, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them. This one-on-one coverage down there, too, even though it looks like Titusville is going to play that shell type of defense.
You got one-on-one at the bottom of your screen, Gordon and Bland. Billingsley takes the snap, and he's going to go over the middle. It is caught. Make one guy miss, make two guys miss. It's Alex Christian. He's got the sideline. And they're going to say it's a touchdown by Alex Christian as he's able to get up the sideline with 5 seconds left. They go 45 yards. Alex Christian touchdown.
If I had to describe that play in one word, Zane, unbelievable. He was determined to get into the end zone, and we call that word stick-to-itiveness.
Eli Russell out for the extra point.
See how it looks.
Extra point is up and good.
Extra point is good.
Yeah, I think I told you before in the previous games that momentum doesn't wear a jersey, but you could tell what sideline it's standing on.
Yes, you can, and with 5 seconds now, that's why Terry, I said, although you're down 10 and I know you need points, I'm on the side of letting that clock run out. You go to halftime down 10. There was 50 seconds left. Now, Titusville, I don't know how many timeouts they had to take, but I'm on the side of running that ball out, not turning over the ball, playing it safe. You go into halftime down 10. That was a 14-point swing right there. Now they're going to go into halftime down 17, and Titusville is going to get the ball to start the second half.
You know, at least Titusville was nice enough to leave 5 seconds on the clock for them before the half. So if anything happened out of that play good for Astronaut, it was that they was able to get an extra 5 seconds courtesy of Titusville High.
Well, we'll see if they return this for a touchdown. I'll tell you right now, if they had Cavante Corbin from the Villages, he probably could take it to the house.
Yeah, he definitely could.
So the kickoff goes deep, and it actually goes out of bounds. So no time will run off the clock, and they're going to have the ball all the way at the 40.
Yeah, I think now they will probably run the ball just to get out of the half and live to fight another half. And once again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in. If you are a graduate of Titusville or Astronaut, rep your class. You know, if your class is 2005, 2007, 95, 98, rep your class and put it in the chat so we can see and shout you all out with your class, Titusville or Astronaut. Or if not, either any one of those schools, shout out any of your schools. I'm a graduate of Battery Creek High School in South Carolina / Conway High / Naples High in Naples, Italy. So I'm shouting all of those schools out so you can do the same thing.
Astronaut elects for Titusville to re-kick it, so they'll bring it back 5 yards and kick it from the 35-yard line. I have a feeling they're just going to squib this. You want to just take it to half. No chance for a return, a real return, I should say.
We got Susan McCain. She's class of 88, Titusville High School. Where were you at in class of 88, Zane? In 1988, where were you?
In 1988, I was a dream.
Yeah,
you know?
sure was.
My father probably dreamed about me back in. So we're going to go to halftime. Titusville up 20-3. What a big turn of events that happened here late in the half. It was an interception caught by Jabari Green, and then a 45-yard touchdown from Billingsley to Alex Christian makes this a 20-3 ball game. What a huge turn of events, Terry. Honestly, first half thoughts, reactions about the end of the half. What do you think, Terry?
Like I mentioned before, the keys of the game, what I mentioned for Titusville is leverage the crowd. And they definitely have done that when they're able to score points. The crowd has been there the entire time. This sideline over here is packed. And these folks want to win this game. This means a lot. This is the battle of the Vills. This is bragging rights, not only for the players, but for the parents, the cousins, the friends, the teachers. So it was a high-stake matchup, and it's good to see that everybody's out here participating.
Yeah, I agree. I think when you look at this game from the first quarter, you said, hey, it was a 6-3 game with 6 minutes left in the half. And you said, hey, if Astronaut can just get to half down 9-3 or, possibly even get a stop. It was a 4th and 5 at the 5-yard line with really either a field goal opportunity or you go for it opportunity. Analytics say go for it. Great play call by Matt Diesel and company. A little shovel pass inside to Alex Christian. He's able to scamper in, walk into the end zone, matter of fact. And then you look at the time and you say, hey, we might have a chance to score again. Well, the chance did happen because Astronaut threw an interception. Obviously, Hagen's arm was hit as he threw. Jabari Green makes an athletic play, dives on it, and then one play later, you're in the end zone once again. Alex Christian makes 2 guys miss, gets down the sideline, and is able to score on a 45-yard scamper. So big-time play there by Christian, and that makes it 20-3 at half. We will go to halftime as the bands will do their thing.
And I want to shout out again, once everybody, Elizabeth Morgan Clark, class of 2020, Titusville High. Naomi Callahan Cook, class of 1995, go War Eagles. And someone said that they're the Garden Street and we're the Ville. Hey, I'm gonna stay away from that one. But it's good to see everybody has their school pride because this is what it's all about.
It is what it's all about. So the bands are going to do their thing. Astronaut Band will do their thing first, and Titusville will follow. Once again, thank you all for tuning in to the Friday Night Locker Room on Space Coast Daily. Terry Spain, Zane Garcia, and we'll be back after the half.
Is your band ready? Ladies and gentlemen, the War Eagle Marching Band. Thank you. We're good. Right here now. Oh, God, don't get me. Oh, my God. Ladies and gentlemen, another big round of applause for the marching War Eagle. And now performing is the Terrier Sound from Titusville High School. As the band enters the field, we do want to take a moment to thank some of our corporate partners, Parish Medical Center, Starling Honda, Gino, North Brevard Funeral Home, Lakeland Memorial Garden, and Guitar Shop and more. The drum majors are Graham Hill, Najari McLean, and Bree Williams, with percussion captain Ian Heine and band captain Caleb Fuentes Santos. Tonight we are performing our 2025 marching show, Fly. We begin with the fanfare from the movie E.T. and we're right into Danger Zone from Top Gun. Fly Me to the Moon gives us a change of pace, and then we finish with Defying Gravity from the hit Broadway musical turn movie Wicked. As you all know, tonight is senior night here, and we are all glad to honor our seniors, asking them to wear white shoes so you can be recognized easily. Drum majors, is your band ready? Ladies and gentlemen, the Terrier Sound. Ladies and gentlemen, another big round of applause for the We would like to acknowledge and express our gratitude to more of our corporate sponsors: T-Bow Designs, Dynamic 7, Modern Realty, Precision Overhead Garage Door Service, and Acre Eye.
Please draw your attention to midfield. For a matchup against the Eagle in the here. That is one fluffy Eagle.
Back to the Friday Night Locker Room on Space Coast Daily. Terry Spain, Zane Garcia. Nice halftime show by both the bands. Last performance of the year. You got to give it your all, and they did.
Yeah, they definitely did. They put on a really good show. They had, and the thing about it is, they had the stands, the fans. They were all in it the entire halftime, and that's what you want as a band as well.
So for the first half, it was really a story of the second quarter by the Titusville offense. The Titusville offense, they got going in that second quarter, and it really was led by the throwing ability of Bill Billingsley. He was able to find receivers and get guys really to make plays in the open field, and that's more or less what you want to do, is get it to your playmakers and allow them to make plays in space. And we saw some good play by both sides, but really it was Alex Christian, wide receiver for the Titusville Terriers, who was able to make things happen in space. And he had a 45-yard touchdown to end the half, and that is where we stand now, 20-3. The Titusville Terriers deferred to the second half, so they will be receiving the ball to start this third quarter.
Yeah, and if you're Astronaut, you're down. You don't want to keep watching the scoreboard. Yeah, you're down 20-3. But I saw an Astronaut team that from this opening drive was determined to run the ball. I like to see them get back to that, put some points on the board, and anything can happen from that, but your defense is going to have to show up once your offense scores.
I agree, and we're going to have a quick play. It's an onside kick, and Astronaut is going to recover, I believe. Absolutely.
This is what I'm talking about. We talked about those special teams and getting that spark. This is the spark that you need if you're Astronaut. They're over there excited. The fans are over there jumping around. No one saw that coming at all.
They didn't, and really what surprised me is Astronaut actually set up to do that quick onside kick. The ball fell down. You would have thought Titusville might have bunched their formation together a little bit as they expected the onside kick. No, they leave it for one guy to recover it, and that leads to Astronaut recovering the ball. So Astronaut kicked off to start the second half, but their offense will now take the field, and they're on plus territory. So yeah. Astronaut will start on the 48-yard line of the Terriers.
And that's a win, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them run this ball a little bit more too, but that's a win if you're Astronaut.
2 men in motion. It's going to be a handoff. DJ Hunter plows forward. He's going to pick up about 2. I'll tell you right now, DJ Hunter is a tough dude to bring down, and when you see him carry the ball, there's probably 4 or 5 Terriers that swarm to him every single time because they know we're trying to bring down a guy that's probably 230 pounds plus.
Very Derrick Henry-esque,
Absolutely.
And that Greg Jones, they have that same body style.
So make it second down to 8. A throw over the middle. It was a good play setup, but even better defense by the Terriers. Throw was completed and caught by number 7, Nehemiah Pinnock. And he's able to get maybe a yard, but good defense there by the Terriers.
Yeah, great textbook tackling by the Terriers. They had a good setup, but the Terriers were disciplined. They're a little upset by that onside kick. Trust me, they want the ball back.
Yep. And I think if you're the War Eagles right now, you got to think that you have 2 plays to get this first down. You don't have to get it all right now. I mean, if you can, that's amazing, but you got to think play to maybe 4th and short right here. Snap, Hagan steps back, steps up in the pocket, and he's going to be sacked. And now you have no shot but to punt. And that's one thing that I've recognized with Higgins. He's not really a modeled quarterback. He's an all-around athlete. And when you have athletes that play quarterback, they don't have that natural feel of a pocket presence, and they don't have that natural internal timer working in their mind of, okay, I need to get rid of the ball. And right there you saw it really just wasn't working too well from the get-go.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to go for it, but there's a penalty on the play, and I don't know if that's the illegal substitution or not on that play.
It looks like they called a sideline warning on Titusville. I think we're going to have an official's timeout, but it was a sideline warning on Titusville. They're going to go over to Coach Diesel right now and tell him, guys got to back up. And that's what it is. It's a rivalry game. Both sides are into it.
Antsy.
You want to be on the field. Even if you're not in the game,
yeah.
I want to be on that field.
And you definitely want to be in on fourth down because you want to be able to stop the opposing team. This is a gutsy play. We've seen Titus Astronaut make some gutsy moves throughout this game, the onside kick, but now it's fourth down and a mile, and they're going for it.
Yep, 4th down and 12. They're going to go for it.
I wouldn't be surprised if they target number 4 for Astronaut, King Rainey, because he's looking like he wants the ball, and I know they're going to try to give it to him.
Wow, what a play on defense. That is, of course, Zymerius Brown, who comes in on the blitz, and he was there in a heartbeat.
Zymerius Brown has been all over the field tonight, and he knew the play before the receivers did. Good job on him. He's been making plays all night, and this is not going to be the last time we call his name tonight. I can guarantee you that.
I don't think so either. So with 9:12 left in this third quarter, it's going to be the Terriers, who are now officially will have their first possession of the second half. And honestly, that play call kind of surprised me a little bit. I kind of felt like they were going to try to make them jump off sides, get 5 yards back, and then that makes it a little bit more of a comfortable go for on 4th down. But a play action call on 4th down is risky, especially when it's 12 yards to get the first down. They know you're not going to run the ball. So play actions take a little bit longer to progress, and Brown was in the backfield in a hurry.
Yes, he is. And I'm going to tell you right now, this sideline is crunk. That's an old word, but they are crunk tonight.
Yeah, Titusville side definitely showed out.
Delay a game, Titusville.
I think some of the players in the stands, they want to go out there and play too, because this is one of those games that just the bragging rights.
Yep.
So some of these guys have probably been in the stands that played at Astronaut or played at Titusville. They know how much this means and what it's worth. So this is good to see the players coming out here and the fans that's out here cheering these young men on.
Billingsley steps back. He's going to throw. Pass is caught by his brother, Brian Billingsley. He makes 2 guys tackle him, and he drags him for another 10 yards. That's about a gain of 22 right there.
That's what I call a comfortable throw. He looked very comfortable. You could tell, I know it's his brother, so he's used to throwing to his brother, but that was very comfortable the way he threw that ball.
And honestly, it doesn't help a quarterback any more than when your wide receivers are catching the ball with their hands.
Yes.
When your wide receivers are catching the ball with their body, it's not a sure catch. Their receivers are catching the ball with all hands tonight for Titusville.
And the yards after the catch definitely help as well.
Billingsley, swing pass to Kamari Jackson. He's going to bring it outside. He's got the sideline. He cuts in. He's got the end zone in sight, and he gets there.
Kamari Jackson is fast. No one was going to catch him, Zane.
Kamari Jackson will score his second touchdown of the night from around the same area. The first one was an 18-yard rushing touchdown. This one is going to go as a 22-yard receiving touchdown, a swing pass to Kamari Jackson, and he takes it into the end zone. What a play right there by Mr. Jackson.
It looks like Astronaut already started cranking up the bus right now. And, there's a lot of people on the other side looking like, okay, it's cold out here. We can't stay out here in cold and be losing. So I see a couple people already that stood up and heading over to the house.
Yeah, I think both sides, honestly, are probably getting close to heading home. Titusville fans are saying, hey, it's a Thursday night. I got work in the morning.
Thursday night football.
I got Thursday night football to watch. I got work in the morning. I'm going to go lay on my couch, watch the Ravens and Dolphins play, and
Or listen to Space Coast Daily and watch the game from there.
there you go. Drink some hot cocoa.
One of my favorites.
So a little halftime score check we did, and right now it looks like there's blowouts in both of our big-time rivalries in county. Cocoa up big over Rockledge currently, and right now we are heading towards blowout territory in this one. Astronaut still has some time to get back into this game, but I don't think that offense of Titusville is slowing down anytime soon.
Yeah, it definitely is not. And good job on Titusville not to keep their head down after that onside kick. That caught everybody off guard, right?
It did.
But for them to come down there, play good defense, get the ball back, and score that fast, that's showing a lot. That's showing how much this team cares about the season. But it also goes to how well they're coached also.
Well, both these sides, they're really playing for an at-large bid. Neither side was able to finish within the top two, which by FHSAA rules and playoff formatting, the top two teams get an automatic bid into the playoffs. But an at-large bid is still possible. And I think Titusville is saying, hey, we have a 5-5 record. We had a very, very difficult schedule this season. We played enough worthy opponents to be able to get into the playoffs that we will compete regardless of what seed we are. So I think, this Titusville team, they've looked good tonight.
Yeah.
And really, you look at their schedule, the game against Merritt Island, that was a heartbreaker, losing that one 31-28. The game against Spruce Creek, which Spruce Creek has turned out to be one of the best teams in the state of Florida.
Yeah.
They were up in that game, ended up losing it by a touchdown. Go back to the week 1 game against Heritage. They lost that one in overtime, 25-19. You look at this team, they've competed and they've been in literally every single game. Other than the West Orange game, they have been there in every single game. And it's just been a couple of plays that have turned one way or another for this Titusville team. I think they if they make it into the playoffs, I wouldn't be surprised if they upset someone in that first round.
Yeah, they got a lot of talent on this team, but you mentioned about how much they were into a lot of these games. And I think that's what's going to get them into the playoffs.
Yeah.
You want to see a talented team like this in the playoffs.
So King Rainey and the Wildcat, Higgins. Pass is incomplete. And Terry, I think you were right. I think, Astronaut, what they really needed to do is get back to what they did best, and that was running the ball. But when you're down 24 points, it's hard not to say, hey, we need to throw the ball. We need to get downfield and score points. And I think that's what they've kind of turned to now. But when you have a quarterback in there that's not a throwing quarterback, I think that you kind of have to mix it up a little bit. You do want to throw the ball, but you definitely have to get back to what was working.
Yeah, you definitely have to. You only scored 3 points. You need a lot of points here. And if you're Astronaut, this is unfamiliar territory because you thought you were going to come here and win. And I know they're going to. Ouch. That's definitely helmet to helmet right there. And they're going to call that, but that was a nasty hit.
My goodness.
I felt that from up here. I was cold earlier here in the booth, but that hit there warmed me up, Zane.
I'll tell you right now, Tank Harvey laid the absolute lumber on the running back right there. That's going to be – they're going to call that a targeting helmet to helmet, whatever you want to call it. They will give Astronaut an automatic first down. But my goodness, that's a hit right there that you're going to feel that until next Monday.
Oh, yeah, and you can see the Astronaut players, the Titusville players, they're bouncing around now. They got that extra pep. A hit like that will get everybody up and running, trust me.
Oh,
and I know that Astronaut know that those hits hurt, right?
Oh,
And so they're going to come a little timid, and they're going to think twice about catching these passes and things of that nature.
I'll tell you right now, you catch a slant pass – and Tank Harvey's right there about to hit you, you're probably not going to want to catch the ball. It's going to be DJ Hunter fighting for more yards. He's going to pick up about a yard, and now it's starting to get a little chippy down there. between the two sides. Remember, these schools are really 5 minutes down the road from each other, so a lot of these players played with each other growing up, and they're saying, hey, whether you were my friend or not before this, you're not my friend right now.
Yeah, I mean, anything goes. It kind of reminds me of like me growing up and our rivals that we had. I had a lot of people that I was friends with. Only on the days that we played against each other, we wasn't friends. I didn't even, contact them that day or anything. It was strictly business. So it brings me back to those memories, and that's how it has to be sometimes, to bring that competitive edge to it.
2nd down and 9. Hagan steps back. He's going to throw, and he does have a man. It is caught. That is number 9, Hunter Buck. That'll be a first down.
That was probably the best throw I've seen him throw all night, and he had time. Plenty of times that he was throwing the ball, he didn't ever have time, but now he had a little time, and this is what he's able to do when he has that time.
I think those are the throws right there, especially when you can complete it for a first down. That's the kind of like sigh of relief. I completed one. It went for a first down. Now we can maybe get it rolling a little bit.
Yeah, I think Astronaut kind of called the train. You hear the train in the background.
Yep.
They called them because they want to jump on us if they don't score a touchdown here.
Empty backfield. Higgins is by himself. And I'll tell you right now, I don't even think that was the crowd that was making too much. That was the train coming by. The train coming by with the crowd noise at Titusville, that probably felt like a college stadium right there with how loud it was.
The decibels definitely increased there. I think the referee stopped the game because of that.
So they will reset. First down and 10, 6:44 left in this third quarter. It's been all Titusville since about the 6-minute mark of the second quarter. It was a 6-3 game and 21 unanswered. Really 27 unanswered. The run outside by Higgins. He's going to pick up about 5, but it's going to come back. There's a penalty on the field, and it's going to be a hold. It's going to come back. That's a tough one. We saw a lot of holding calls. I remember the O'Galley and Cocoa game. I think O'Galley had close to 10 holding calls in that game alone. And it's one thing when you hold because you can't block a guy, but it's another thing when you have a mobile quarterback. When he rolls out of the pocket, you have to let your guy go. And when you break containment, you don't really know what else to do but hold.
Right, and it's unfortunate because he had a receiver open in the end zone as well. So if he would have saw that, I don't know if that holding call would have stand, but it was very unfortunate that call. And that train is still going by.
Yep.
It's still not too late.
First down and 20. Higgins. And they're going to call that was a backwards pass. I don't know if Higgins tried to throw the ball there or if it just kind of flew out of his hand. But I think it was the train noise.
I don't know what it was, but that was an awkward play as well. And they might have called him down right there too.
Yep.
But they don't look comfortable at all, Zane. And if they're not careful, there's definitely going to be a running clock.
Yeah, it can get that way quick. So right now it's about 2nd and Mims. Mims, it's far, but it's not too far because we're in Titusville. Yeah. So it's like, it's 2nd and about 25 right now. It's about Mims. They move 5 yards back. We're talking
Sanford.
2nd down and 25. Higgins, it's going to be a handoff right up the middle. Draquan Jones. He'll scamper for about 5, and that'll make it 3rd and 20. And honestly, I'm a little bit surprised they haven't ran Draquan Jones a little bit more. I mean, we saw him run against Bayside, and not only was his cutback ability nice, but his acceleration. That field was sloppy. If you remember that game, it was a sloppy field, so it was hard to gain traction. He would get 1 foot in the ground, dig, and he was 0 to 20 miles an hour in a blink of an eye. And I'll tell you right now, he gets some open space. He can make players miss, but this Titusville defense, they've been stifling tonight. It's going to be another handoff up the middle.
And I think it's 4-down territory from here on out. If you're Astronaut, you got 5 minutes and 33 seconds left in the third quarter.
Yep.
You're gonna have to just do what you got to do and go from there. They've getting positive yards. They haven't gotten positive yards on this drive, but I would love to see them throw the ball, because then running this ball is not going to get you that many yards unless you get a real lucky break.
Yeah. Jaden Brown on the carry there for the War Eagles. Jabari Green in on the tackle. Jabari Green, he's been tough to get by in that midsection for Titusville. The running backs have been able to get past that first line, but then Jabari Green, middleman there for the Titusville Terriers, he's been making a lot of plays all over. It's going to be a quick pass outside, and that's a backwards pass. That's going to move back again, and actually it looked like they had a double pass set up with King Rainey.
I don't like it, Zane. Even though they had a receiver downfield, that's that long development play. So now you're putting the onus on a wide receiver to throw that ball. I don't like it at all.
Yeah, so the play does not go as designed. They lose another probably 7 to 10 yards right there. So Titusville is going to take over with tremendous field position with 4:44 left in this third quarter. They'll be at, I believe, their own 46-yard line. And I'll tell you right now, their 46-yard line, don't put it past them to score in one play. You get it to Alex Christian. My goodness, he's been all over the field tonight. The swing passes, the out routes, the slants, the go routes, any type of route, he's running it. He's catching the ball, and he's taking it to the house.
Yeah, he's definitely taking it to the house, and that's a luxury to have. You know, when you have a player that can do that for you, we talk about playoffs, you're going to need a player like that in the playoffs.
Yes, you are. So Alex Christian with 2 touchdowns tonight. Kamari Jackson with 2 touchdowns tonight. They've both been impressive. Billingsley, his brother's in motion. It's going to be a fake. It's going to be a double pass. And they're going to call it a catch. From up here, it did not look like a catch, but that was very, very close.
Yeah, wasn't a very good thrown ball, but good job on the running back for throwing it. But if he would have threw it to him the correct way, that was another touchdown. We talked about those fast-scoring plays.
Yep.
That would have been a fast-scoring play. They had the whole defense on their heels that day.
It would have. Good design right there. Picks up a big first down for Titusville. Billingsley, it's going to be a handoff. Kamari Jackson into the secondary. Just plowing through that War Eagles defense. And now here we go. We have some chippiness on the field. It's coming from both sides. It looks like it started with Astronaut, though. That's a little bit of frustration right now.
Yeah.
You're down 27-3. The end of the third quarter is approaching. And
the scoreboard watching.
Yeah.
And you know, I know Titusville is probably letting them have it too secretly. Yep. They're talking trash to them because this is a rivalry game and they just had enough. But you got to divert that energy on defense.
Yep.
You don't get any penalties with that because now you're only hurting your team because Titusville is moving a little bit closer, and before you know it, the score is going to get even uglier.
It is. And I can tell you right now, Titusville, their offense has been impressive. We've seen the penalties cleaned up, and their offense has just been able to churn down the field. Bill Billingsley has been in command tonight of this offense, so they've done an excellent job of being able to move the ball and move the ball efficiently.
Yeah.
It's going to be another handoff down the left side and thrown down at about the 5-yard line. Kamari Jackson will take it for about 8 yards.
Kamari Jackson, he's one of these little scat back type runners. You know, it's going to be real hard to get him. It's almost like he got Vaseline on his jersey. He's slippery when he runs. So it's good to see a runner like that too. He's giving it all he's got. You know, I think he's a senior this year, so he's definitely trying to increase his name around the county, but not only in the county, but around to the college football. Say, hey, look, I'm here. Come check me out in Titusville, Florida.
He'll be playing on Saturdays next year for sure. Billingsley, he's going to keep it himself. Makes one guy miss, and he's tackled at about the 3. I can tell you right now, Kamari Jackson's running style is one that colleges will admire, and for one main reason. He doesn't run east to west. Right. He runs north to south, which is what college – I mean, unless you're as fast as Usain Bolt, John Ross, you're as fast as those guys, you got to be running north and south.
Yeah, you definitely have to, because everybody's fast in college football. So you can do it in high school, but it's going to be real tough to do it in college, because there's a lot of people who are either faster than you or the same speed.
So we're going to have an injury timeout on the field. We're going to go to a brief break. Right back.
Space Coast Daily is Brevard's most trusted news. Through spacecoastdaily.com and Space Coast Daily's social media reach, hundreds of thousands of people stay informed every day. Through Space Coast Daily's unmatched digital reach with the Space Coast Daily's direct mail newspaper and Space Coast Daily, the magazine in print, our loyal and engaged viewers enjoy free local news they can trust every day, and all at no charge thanks to our successful advertising clients. And also at our special events at Space Coast Daily Park in Vieira, where hundreds of thousands of people see our clients' advertisements. Call today to get your message seen on Space Coast Daily and take your business to new heights. Get launched with Space Coast Daily. Call 321-323-4460 today.
It looks like the injured War Eagle is able to make it off the field. Looks like that's number 30 for the War Eagles. That is Ronan Broom.
I was going to add like you.
Billingsley, slant and a touchdown. He threw that thing on a dime. And it looks like it was Dion Bland. Oh, a penalty is going to bring that back. No, it was Harvey on the reception. It's going to be a penalty that's coming back. I think they just called a pick play. Actually, I'm not sure what they called. They're moving it back 15 yards. So they'll be doing the third down all over again. 15 yards.
Yeah, but it gives them opportunity to make up for those plays that they didn't have before, so they can go and try to score another touchdown, because they've been scoring at ease the last couple of plays. So
yeah, they've been able to move the ball really well, and I think 3rd and 15, you're looking at it like, shoot, as long as we get down to the 5-yard line, we got Tank Harvey.
Yeah. So we can do anything we want, right? You got a tank. Anytime you got a tank, I tell you, you come into war, you go into battle, you always need a tank. A tank will do anything you need it to do.
Tank Harvey, Kamari Jackson, they've been able to get it done tonight, and I'll tell you right now, the boys up front, they're going to be getting the praise from these guys, because the running ability, the blocking ability in the pass game, the big heavies, as you call them, up front have got the job done tonight for Titusville. It always starts in the trenches.
Yeah, it definitely does.
It starts in the trenches. You win the matchup up front, then the rest of the game flows very well. And the running game has been successful. The passing game's been successful. I don't think you can talk enough about how good of a job this offensive line for Titusville's done tonight.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. And this has got to be a feel-good moment right here. Anytime your team can come and the seniors can go out like this, these are the bragging rights that we talked about earlier. They're gonna circle this game 2 or 3, 4 years from now and say, hey, you remember when we won this game? This is one of these ones when you're 70 years old and you're sitting back and you say, who won the game in 2025? These are the type of games that you see there.
Absolutely. So now make it 3rd and 15. Man in motion, Billingsley. He's going to throw over the middle, and it is incomplete. Intended, I believe, for Dion Bland. He's looking for a flag. He thought he was held right there. He was tripped up a little bit, but I think it was incidental.
Yeah, but honestly, I think the referees missed one there, Zane. That was pass interference.
It could have been called either way. So 4th down, the field goal unit will come out.
But this is good practice for your field goal kicker as well. You want to be sharp on all phases, and field goal is definitely going to be one of those phases that you need, because going into playoffs, if you're able to make it, you're going to need this kicker.
The snap, the hold, the kick, it's up, and it is good. Good looking kick there. Kick is up and good. That'll make it 30-3 in this ball game. 2:17 left in this third quarter. I can tell you right now, Terry, one more stop. I would not be surprised to see this Titusville team go for the 2 and get the running clock going and try to get out of here a little early.
Yeah, I think they want to go out in style, and that's one way of going out in style is having a running clock. That's like a punch in the face when somebody's able to do a running clock on you. I don't care what team you are. If you're able to do a running clock on the opposing team, that's a win.
Yep.
In any facet, that's a win throughout the entire season. But just imagine if you're able to get a running clock on your rivals, and you have the opportunity to go make the playoffs too. And it's cold out here.
Yep.
You know, so a lot of these folks want to go home, so they would love to see the running clock.
You know, also something that this is a little bit back onto the topic of it being a Thursday night game. These players are going to go to school tomorrow, and the whole entire school is going to be talking about the game. I know people are going to be like, okay, where's the Halloween parties? You know, where are we going trick-or-treating? Who has the best candy? What neighborhood can I get the big Hershey's bars or Snickers bars at? But no, you have school tomorrow. Everyone's going to be talking about the football game. I think that's one thing that is a little bit missed with high school football because they play on Friday nights. So everybody has the weekend, and then on Monday, I mean, I guess
it's over with.
You kind of talk about it, but you don't talk about it as much. And King Rainey makes 3 guys miss, and is tripped up. Good return by King Rainey. But back to what I was saying, it's almost, okay, we're moved on to the next week. But now tomorrow, especially it being a rivalry game, the entire Titusville high school is going to be talking about, man, we beat the mess out of them boys. They're going to be talking about it all day tomorrow. I think that's pretty cool. That's one thing that I loved about playing basketball in high school is our games. Basketball games are throughout the week. It's not just on Friday. It's sometimes weekend games,
yeah.
But you have Monday, you have sometimes Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It can be any day of the week. The next day, depending on who you're playing, that's what you're talking about. You're talking about the game. You're talking about how you played, who was at the game and this and that. It's a cool thing.
Yeah, it definitely is.
So the Astronaut offense will take over again And it's getting into blowout territory if it's not already there. Jaden Brown right up the middle, and he's going to pick up about 4. I think that they abandoned the run too early, Terry.
Yeah, they definitely did, and then now they're trying to stay with the run. But, I mean, you have a lot of points. You have a lot of points that you have to make up for. And not to say that you want to throw it away, but you definitely don't want to be one-dimensional as well. So, good job on them sticking with the run, but they're going to have to mix it up here.
They are going to have to. It's at that point in the game that you don't really have a choice but to throw the ball. Outside throw. Tank Harvey gets over there in coverage. And Tank Harvey, he's really done everything tonight. You know, he doesn't have the big touchdowns tonight, but he's done everything. He's made big-time first downs. He's, you know, made catches when he's needed to. He's gotten, you know, big runs. And then on defense, he's defended well. He's made big tackles in the open field. I don't want to speak for the Astronaut ball carriers and stuff, but he's probably struck a little bit of fear into them to come around that edge and see Mr. Harvey.
Well, that's a tank, so everybody gets scared of a tank.
Throw over the middle is caught. And there's the big play that Astronaut has been looking for all game long. That was caught, and that is big number 85.
Say your name, Mr. 85, but your name is not on your roster, so I can't say it. But 85, good catch and run.
But I'll tell you what, also, like, I would like to see a little bit more sense of urgency for Astronaut. You know, I know you're down by a substantial amount of points, but to having the sense of urgency to try to score more points is what you need. They're forming up and lining up as if they're up by 10, but they're not.
Run up the middle. Brown powers forward, and he'll pick up about 7.
Gain of 7 on the carry.
We're now under a minute left in this third quarter.
Second and a long 3.
That Titusville crowd is still in it, man. They got everything they need. They got the buzzer. They got everything they want out here.
Throw outside for King Rainey is incomplete. Rainey had his hands on it. That was a catchable ball, and he just dropped it. So that'll make it 3rd and a long 3 for this Astronaut offense. And as the Titusville Terriers faithful make some noise, they're trying to make the defense energize. And right now, Astronaut's been able to move the ball a little bit on this drive. Let's see if Titusville can get a stand right here. There's 2 more downs. You know they're going to go for it on 4th down. It's that time of the ball game.
Oh yeah, that's definitely. There's no hesitation. It's definitely 4-down territory.
Draquan Jones run up the middle. He gets right to the 1st down marker. I believe they're going to give it to him. Let's see what the referees mark it. They're going to say he was short. Actually, they're going to move him along. One referee said short. The other referee said 1st down. So, you know what they say in baseball. Tie goes to the runner.
That is the end of the third quarter.
So, the end of the third quarter, 30-3. It has been all Terriers. That's 30 unanswered by the Terriers in this ball game. And really, this game is all but over, unless we see, which I say this whenever we cover a game and it's a blowout, Terry. I always say this, unless we see the greatest comeback in FHSAA history, which would be a spectacle to see tonight. But as of right now, it is all Titusville, and they are up 30-3. Once again, thank you all for tuning in to the Friday Night Locker Room on Space Coast Daily. Terry Spain, Zane Garcia here from Al Wernicke Field, home of the Titusville Terriers. It is senior night. It is also the battle for the Hudson Trophy or the battle for the Ville, whichever you want to call it. But it has been all Terriers tonight. I could tell you that first drive, the coaches for Titusville said, you know what, We let them get a little sense of hope, but they're not going to have anything else to eat for the rest of the night.
So they took their food away, huh?
They got 2 or 3 bites, and they were like, you're done. Because that offense has been pretty shut down for the rest of the night from Astronaut. They've been able to move it a little bit on this drive, and if they score right here, it'll make it 30-10. It's another run right up the middle. Big Heavy's pushing the pile, and he'll pick up about 2 yards.
Yeah, it's definitely still getting a little chippy out there. I think Astronaut is a little upset and getting frustrated that Titusville is trying to bully them at the line of scrimmage.
Second and 9 now for the War Eagles. Can see both sides starting to clear out a little bit. Astronaut side getting a little thin. Handoff, DJ Hunter bounces off of a runner, or a defender, excuse me, and will get shoved out of bounds.
Yeah, he didn't like that at all. You know, he's been in the face, and there's the flag. I knew that was coming. But you know what? Astronaut was definitely intimidating him as well, trying to intimidate him. But he wasn't having it. He stood his ground.
So at the end of that play, that was Tank Harvey and DJ Hunter getting face-to-face. And I know at the end of the day, they both have respect for each other. They both know that they're 2 of the best players that are going to be on this field tonight. They know they both have talent, and it's shown tonight that Tank Harvey's been able to get the better of the War Eagles. So that push out of bounds will make it 3rd down. 3rd and 8 for the Astronaut War Eagles.
Once again, this is 4-down territory from here on out.
Timeout Titusville. Jaquan Higgins and Draquan Jones are in that backfield.
All right, so the tow trucks are making a living in the parking lot tonight. If you happen to have a white Hyundai that you have rented, it is currently being towed. So show up currently and go get your car right now.
PA announcers probably having a little bit of fun announcing that people's cars are getting towed.
Yeah, I wonder why would you tow cars during a high school football game,
know,
especially if you're paying.
The only circumstance for that is if there's handicapped people here and you're parked in a handicapped spot. But a game like this, Astronaut and Titusville, you know the whole city is out here tonight. And I'll tell you right now, Titusville is not a small city. It's tight knit, but it is not small. So you can imagine you got probably close to a couple thousand that have made their way out here to the game. Now it's thinned out. Astronaut and Titusville fans have started to hit the gates and say, hey, if we want to watch the game at home on Space Coast Daily, we'll sit on our couch and do so. But I want to get warm, hot cocoa, a little bit of marshmallows in there.
Yeah, why not?
Maybe a little chocolate drizzle on top if you're
you can't beat it.
Feeling fancy. It's a fumble on the play. Ball still moving around, and it is going to be jumped on and recovered by Higgins. Honestly, that was a funny play. Looking at it from up here, that ball was literally spinning like a spin the bottle. Higgins looking around for it. Defense looking around for it. Higgins finally finds it and hops on it. But that's going to make it now 4th and about 18.
So now you're looking at about 4th and Rockledge, right?
4th and long. Offense has to stay on the field, down 27.
These fans are not letting up, Zane. Not
Not
at
at
all.
all. Timeout, Astronaut. And as they take a timeout, we are going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Reagan's going to run up the middle. Makes one guy miss, flips forward. He's not going to get up the first down. But now we have a penalty. So I'm not sure who that's going to go on. Honestly, I did not see any infractions, but the referees obviously did, so we'll see the call in just a moment.
And that might be a face mask, too. It looks like she had a face mask.
Absolutely right, Terry. That was a face mask, and that's going to move Astronaut right up to the 10-yard line. So a chance to put some points on the board. You're down by 27 with less than 9.5 minutes to go. The chances of you coming back are probably less than 1% right now.
But there is a chance.
There is always a chance. But it would at least be nice for them to put points on the board. I know they've gone this entire game with just a field goal. To at least put a touchdown on the board would be a nice feeling for the Warriors team.
Yeah, I mean, the Warriors definitely.
So we got to make it a little bit more even. Big Higgins made one guy. What happened?
It's easy for us.
There's no real.
And that was at the beginning of the game. They have not scored. And Titusville wants to keep it that way.
Absolutely.
Slack or carrot butter.
Well, like I referenced earlier,
In the parking lot,
they want them to fight the
just blocking people in.
They're not letting
The tow truck waiting on you too.
Spice of your key up the great game tonight.
Nicole Black,
That is it.
carrot butter. Go move your
So we're going to have another timeout and another announcement
ASAP.
that someone's about to get the
Like right now.
from the field.
Get up and run.
Third and about 20 now for the War Eagles offense. Man in motion. Trips at the bottom of the screen. Higgins takes the snap. Steps up. It's going to the end zone, and it is incomplete. A little bit deep, intended for Rainey. And I'll tell you right now, he was about to get sacked again. If you have a quarterback who's not a quarterback, you got to let him know, look, you got 3 seconds, then you got to get out of there.
Timing. You got to have the timing. You got to have that clock in your head that says, if it's not good in 2.5 seconds, tops 3, then I'm either tucking the ball and running it, or I'm going to try to find an open receiver, even at a check down. But when you're 3rd and 20, you got a lot of ground to make up for.
That defensive line has gotten after it tonight. Higgins trying to escape and cannot. On 4th down, he is sacked. Titusville will take over on downs. And I gotta give some credit to D-line coach Tay Hickson for this Titusville Terriers squad. He's brand new to the Titusville family, and I know that he's probably got these guys motivated week in and week out to feast on these offensive lines, and they sure have done that tonight. So shout out to Coach Tate Hickson. Me and him spent some time together at Rockledge High back in the day.
Okay.
I say back in the day when it's not
you're not
too
that
long.
old, man.
But no, shout out Coach Hickson and the job that he's done with this defensive line. Titusville takes over. Handoff, Kamari Jackson. He's breaking 50, 45. And he's going to be dragged out of bounds, but not after a gain of about 25 yards. It is Kamari Jackson.
Yeah, Kamari wants a touchdown. He said, y'all, keep giving me the ball. I'm on it. I want to show these fans out here the appreciation that we have for them sticking it out with us in this cold right now.
7:28 left in this ball game. Kamari Jackson with 2 touchdowns on the night, and Alex Christian with 2 touchdowns on the night as well. Hey, even though the War Eagles haven't played the best, I'm also going to give a shout-out to my brother who's over there in the Astronaut War Eagles band.
Yeah.
They're doing their thing over there.
They
I got to tell
definitely
you, they're sounding great, even though the team's not playing great.
Yeah.
They're doing their thing over there.
Yeah, they are definitely doing their thing. They've been rocking the whole night. Doesn't matter what the score looks like. The band for the win.
Yeah, I got to shout out my brother John over in that Astronaut band that you can see up top. He's been doing his thing over there, and the band has as well the entire night.
I'll give you $20 if you tell me who sing this song right here.
Honestly, I haven't heard it clear enough, but Justin Timberlake?
Oh no, this is way before Justin Timberlake.
I haven't listened to it long enough or clear enough to know. But that was my Family Feud answer. But the survey says
it's EU, doing
okay.
the butt.
The survey said that I didn't get anything right there. Titusville moving the ball down. Billingsley rolls out. He's going to throw. It is caught. Scampers out of bounds is his brother Brian Billingsley. And that connection, it's been electric.
Yeah.
You know, they haven't done anything flashy or special, but like you mentioned, Terry, the reps that you can have in the backyard and the reps that you can have each and every day with your brother, it goes a long, long way when you have a game out here, especially on your home field where you're comfortable.
Yeah, and this is wonderful. You know, I know they're going to be feeling real happy because they were able to execute. They was able. I think every pass that he thrown to his brother today, he's caught.
Yep.
So that goes to show you how much repetition they get at home, right?
Absolutely.
We want to shout out Malik Folkson. He's watching too. Thanks for tuning in, Malik. And yeah, that's right. Martell Stevens is doing the butt. EU. That's an old school classic there. I didn't expect you to get that one though. Once again, shout out what high school you went to, whether it's Astronaut or whether it's Titusville. We would love to hear from you.
And that is a touchdown. Bill Billingsley. It's hard to see the number on these Titusville jerseys. It looks like it could be coming back for a flag on the play, though.
Well, it's holding on the defense, so it is a touchdown, Zane.
So, yes, the touchdown will count. I think that was Alex Christian right there with the trifecta. I'll have to check that. But Alex Christian with another receiving touchdown. I got a little overzealous and gave Titusville the 37th point before they kicked the extra point.
Yeah, and it's going to be a lot of flags. It's frustration now for Astronaut. They're a little frustrated, and because obviously, Titusville is definitely talking to them because they're up big, but that frustration is kicking in. And once again, you got to divert all that energy and all that play actually to help your team and not hurt your team.
It's at that point of the game where you're like, you know what, 7 minutes left in this game. Can we just end the game already?
Yeah, I mean, to add insult to injury, because if they would have went for is it a running clock now, or is it?
It's at 35 points as a running clock. They're at 34.
So it's almost like dying that slow death. They're making them, they're enjoying every minute of this game. So they didn't want to do the slow clock. They want this to last as long as they can.
Believe what I'm seeing right now. The penalties on the War Eagles. Titusville is kicking this ball from the 30-yard line of Astronaut.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see Titusville give Astronaut a own taste of their own medicine and do an onside kick here.
I wouldn't be surprised either. You onside kick it, then you're already in the red zone. You recover it. $37-3, 6:59 left. It's just going to be booted through the uprights and out of the end zone. So that'll technically be a touchback, and Astronaut will take over. If you hear any silence in this, in these last moments of the game, just know that I'm not trying to make the same mistake that I did last time when we had the MCC Titusville game and the camera was shaking all over the place and I was, being ridiculed. That was a different story though. Okay, that was a completely different story. I laughed at it. It was funny, but now I need that phone to charge. I need it to be A-okay for the rest of this game. So if you do not hear Terry or I that is what's happening, trying to get the rest of this game out. Whether it's a blowout or not, we got to see it through the ending. So Astronaut will take over on the 20-yard line. It's a fumble on the play and barely recovered by Higgins. That was actually DJ Hunter. My apologies.
Yeah, and that's how it's been going all night pretty much for Astronaut. You know, when it rains, it pours. You know, you start seeing everything get exposed once you're down by this many points. Obviously, they were able to get the fumble recovery back, but it's just been going like that since almost the beginning. They had a good opening drive, but after that, it was downhill.
Yep. Taken down to the 6-minute mark. It's a carry right up the middle. We're going to have a flag on the play. So that probably might be coming back. Carry right up the middle for about a yard.
Yeah, I think Astronaut is just kind of complacent with just running the ball here. They're not even going to try to risk it doing anything else. They're fine with just running this clock out, packing up, and going home. Like I said before, the train is already over there. It's coming back to get them. So
37-3, we're ticking down close to the 5-minute mark left in this ball game. Stay tuned for some post-game interviews. I'm believing I have two candidates in mind, and there's two guys that deserve it, and they're actually standing next to each other on this Titusville sideline right here. It is number 1 and number 21 for Titusville, Kamari Jackson and Alex Christian. I believe it's got to go to Alex Christian with 3 touchdowns. I mean, it could even go to Billingsley. He's had, let me see, 4. Do you count the shovel pass as a passing touchdown? I mean,
that is definitely a pass.
If you do, he's had 4 passing touchdowns tonight. Billingsley has had a great season, and he's followed it up with a great finale in this one.
Yeah, that is definitely a pass. So there are quite a few folks you can give it to, but yeah, 4 touchdown passes. That's actually pretty good too.
Martell says Bill Billingsley, I think he's deserved it tonight. 4 passing touchdowns, commanded the offense really, really well. We're going to have a timeout, so we will take a quick timeout, and we'll be right back. Not much room to run. It's going to be a gain of about 2. Ticking down under the 4.5-minute mark. We're at the 4-minute mark in this one. Once again, we'd like to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. It was a no-doubter from the end of the second quarter on. And there's a sack right there. They put number 22, Davian Sherman, in at quarterback. And that was number 45 for Titusville, Wyatt Ray, on the sack. Good play there.
I'll tell you what, though. Titusville looks ready for playoff. Hopefully they can get in and represent Brevard County, but they look ready. Even their second and third string players are coming in and they're making plays, and that's what you want to see from a team.
You know, the way that Titusville is playing right now, if they lined up against the Merritt Islands, the O'Galleys, the Heritage, I'm not too sure they're losing those games. I mean, O'Galley, Merritt Island, those are two really good teams, so those games can go either way. But they should have beat both, or could have. I'm not going to say should, but they could have beat both of those teams. So, you know, they line up against Heritage. I'm taking Titusville, give me 10 points against them too. Heritage has not really been able to connect on all cylinders all season long. But, yeah, I mean, O'Galley, Merritt Island, they could easily take those games in a series of 10. It is thrown and caught. So actually a nice completion there from number 22, Davian Sherman, to Cam Roberts, but not enough for the first down. So the Titusville offense will take over, and they are probably going to try to score one more. Let's just see how much we can score in this game and also get the running clock.
Yeah, if they're able to get the running clock, that would be great for them. But I wouldn't be surprised if this kind of just ran the ball here and see what they can get. Because even if you win either way, and if you run the ball, the clock is still going to be going. So it doesn't matter if you don't get the running clock or not. You can run it here. It's going to just waste a lot of time.
So as we mentioned before, give us your votes for the player of the game. Right now we're leaning towards Bill Billingsley. Bill Billingsley, Alex Christian, Kamari Jackson, those are the favorites. Kamari Jackson with 2 touchdowns, Alex Christian with 3 touchdowns, but Bill Billingsley with 4 passing touchdowns. So we're going to have a timeout, Merritt Island. Excuse me, Titusville.
You feel about player of the game because this can probably go to at least 2 players tonight, but it's definitely going to be interesting.
Yeah, we're going to have to do co-players of the game. Shoot, we'll probably see if we can catch Bill Billingsley, Alex Christian, Kamari Jackson. Heck, even throw Tank Harvey.
A collective effort.
Yep. It is just going to be some runs from Titusville. Number 22, Gio Parton, has taken the carry on the past couple times. He picks up a first down right there. We're ticking under the 2-minute mark in this game. And it is all but wrapped up. 37-3. Titusville has really owned this one from the middle of the second quarter. They scored a touchdown, and they just really, they got it rolling. But after the 3 points that Astronaut scored on their first possession, 37 unanswered by the Titusville Terriers.
That's a lot of points, Zane.
Absolutely. Step back. Billingsley is going to throw. He's going deep. He's got a man, and it is just out of the reach. It was intended for, it looks like it was number 1, Kamari Jackson.
He was definitely disappointed because he wanted that. Trust me, he wanted to score again. And I wouldn't be surprised if they try to go at him one more time.
You know, I love the jerseys, the black and the blue, but when it's far out there, it's actually a little tricky to see who they're throwing it to. I feel like I have bad eyesight.
Got to get you some binoculars.
So, yeah, I was wrong. It was not Kamari Jackson, the intended receiver. It was Dion Bland that Billingsley was throwing to. False start. That's a double flag throw by the referee. He got a little trigger happy right there.
Yeah, but the thing about it, Titusville kind of showed their hand now, so it looks like they're going to run the ball just to get the game over with.
$14 left in this one. 2nd and 10. Billingsley is going to step back. It's going to be an underneath screen. Tank Harvey is able to get up. It's going to be about 9 yards, so make it 3rd and 1, ticking right under a minute. Terry, I tell you, I think they're trying to score one more time.
Yeah, they definitely are. They got 50 seconds left. I mean, they're not in a rush, but they're really trying to score another touchdown to add insult to injury.
I know Mr. Martell Stevens is the Titusville guy. Do you know the record of touchdowns for either Billingsley or Harvey? Will it be broken if they score another touchdown? It looks like they're in a hurry-up mode. They're trying to score. That's one thing that's interesting, you know. But yep, they're gonna wrap this one up. So Titusville will win this one 37-3. 3 points in the first by Astronaut, 37 unanswered by Titusville. Any last words, Sari?
There was a great game, the Battle of the Ville, and this one goes to Titusville because they have it in their name as well, So great game. These young men laid it all out on the line, but Titusville wanted it more. You could tell for almost the entire game. So shout out to both teams, but congratulations to Titusville for winning this game.
4 years in a row, the Hudson Trophy will stay at Titusville High School. Once again, thank you all for tuning in to the Friday Night Locker Room on Space Coast Daily. Terry Spain, Zane Garcia here from Al Warnicki Field, home of the Terriers.